Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Lisa's Love and Light. Happy Wednesday, guys. I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you for being here this Wednesday evening. Like I said, I can never say what specific time that I can be here for now. However, I am here a little bit earlier today. Thank God for that. And here to talk to you guys, to encourage you, keep going, to self-care is so important. Thank you for the person who sent a message last night. Keep going, keep taking care of yourself. So people are responding now. I had a message from someone who talked about, how difficult it is to heal. And she's right, it's not easy. But I promise you guys, as you persevere, you bite and crawl through these things, and you be true to yourself and you keep going, you ask God to help you in prayer, you will see the results. And I'm living proof of that. So guys, do something to take care of yourself. We're in a world today that's spinning mostly on misery. Just people doing a lot of reckless things. People are becoming more and more unreasonable in their way of thinking, to do things to other people unjustifiably, and etc. and so forth. And this is why I only take in about 5 minutes of the news, etc. On a daily basis. Because any high levels of toxicity, I would just tune it out. Guys, live your life. Be true to yourself. Never live the way somebody else want you to. I spent half of my life doing that, doing what family and other people wanted me to do. And I feel like I wasted half of my life doing that because I wasn't being true to myself, And it's important to be true to yourself. Live your life to the fullest. Embrace it. And never let anyone define who you are. Be yourself, your authentic self. With that being said, guys, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a social worker, I'm not a counselor. Just somebody who went through a lot of trials, tribulations, and trauma, and I talk about overcoming these things. Some of these things we never ever get over it, but we can overcome. It's important to overcome these things. Tune out the noise, because as you grow, heal, and evolve, and you start choosing yourself, some people are not going to like it. Because if you were like me and you were subservient to other people, somebody call you, you jump, skip, and hop, and you're no longer that person, they don't like the new you. Just keep being true to yourself and set strong boundaries so that you're not distracted by the noise around you. The title today of discussion is Healing Pain and Trauma is Not Easy. Healing pain and trauma is not easy. Guys, I know that firsthand. I've been to hell in a basket and back and then some. But I'm at the point now in my life, after the transformation and doing the work, still have work to do because healing is an ongoing process. I just tune out the noise, set strong boundaries. In many cases, like my therapist had told me to set strong boundaries, in many cases, people who are stepping on the boundaries, crossing over it, they had to be cut off, blocked, and deleted in order for me to stay focused on myself, to be true to me, to choose myself. People didn't like that I chose me because they wanted me to be the old version of who I truly wasn't. It's to be subservient to others while neglecting my own needs. And I healed that. It took a long time to heal that version of myself, but I was able to do so with the help of God. And we're going to talk about healing things in your life that no longer serve you. In order to heal pain and trauma, guys, you have to address it. Just like I use that metaphor, the elephant in the room, you have to look at it. If the elephant in the room is growing bigger and bigger and everybody is walking around it, laughing, pretending it's not there, it's only going to outgrow the room. And when I reference the elephant in the room, I'm talking about the pain, the trauma, the childhood wounds that you never address, because maybe you are like me. As I was told, whatever happens in this house stays in this house. But guys, if whatever happens in your house stays in your house, how do you grow? How do you heal from it? How do you evolve? You stay stuck in a chokehold, stagnated in a pain. And as you grow older, you're not healing. What you're doing is taking that trauma, that pain, which I refer to as luggage, suitcase, and burdens, and you're taking it to new connections. And perhaps maybe taking out things on those new connections that have nothing to do with it. But if you address those things, address the elephant in the room, address the pain, then that's when a healing process can start. It's just like if you have some kind of ailment or something, you go to the doctor. In order for them to help you heal that or get rid of it, they have to get to the root cause of the problem. And that's with the pain. You have to look at the elephant in the room. You have to address it. Take the bull by the horns. Look at why the pain is so stagnated within you. And then you have to create an outlet. And one outlet I always encourage everyone is therapy. Because there you're able to talk about the grief, the pain, the trauma, the childhood things. And it's a safe environment to do so. And as you get comfortable in doing that, then you can find creative ways to heal your pain so that you're not stuck in it and it doesn't control you or your life. That you can address it so that you can move on and live your life, guys, to the fullest, instead of living a life of pain or whatever somebody else wants you to be conformed to. You cannot walk around the pain pretending that it does not exist. Otherwise, it's just going to get worse. It's going to feel like carrying a ton of bricks up a hill that you can no longer carry. Or you can no longer walk up that hill. You know, I used to carry burdens, mine, other people. People wanted me to fix their problems because they didn't want to do the work to do so. And a subservient version of myself was trying to do that. Trying to, deal with my own stuff. And then it became to the point where all my stuff went on the back burner. And I was trying to, resolve other people. Just recently, someone, who I've known quite a long time, and I was given some advice to on a situation that she's going through, because I'm familiar with it a little bit, because I had an issue with it quite some time ago. But she doesn't want to she seems as if she doesn't want to do the work. She wants me to do the work for her. I'm not doing that. That version of Lisa doesn't exist anymore. I'll give you the tools, but you have to work them. In that case, something I've gone through, and I talk about how I overcame it. And maybe if you try it in this way instead of doing this, it might be beneficial. But I'm not going to go and do the work for anyone. I had to do the work. I couldn't say, this is too hard. You have to do the work to heal. Nobody can do that for you. And you have to put the pieces back of your life together, just like a jigsaw puzzle that come with 300-400 pieces. You don't know what that picture is until you start to sit down and little by little put those pieces together. Then you can see what that picture is. This is how life is. This is how it is with healing. You can't ask anyone to address it for you. You have to do it. You have to do the work. In order to heal, you have to heal from within in order to throw that monkey off your back. You got to heal from within. And that means looking at why this pain is there, why you're carrying it with you everywhere you go. And once you address that, it's going to be painful. It's not easy. But once you address the root cause, then you can move forward. You can heal that and move forward and live your life to the fullest. And like I said, it requires work. Nothing ventured is nothing gained. And nothing is easy about this. So, in my case, what I had to do is bite through, persevere, crawl, and keep going. I had days that the pain felt like the walls were closing in on me. It felt so overwhelming because I had no physical help. I had to persevere and move forward regardless of how uncomfortable it might be. And the reason why is because instead of choosing the toxicity, And the drama and the negativity, I chose myself. This is how I changed my life for the better. Is I chose me instead of the drama and the negativity. And I realized that the only one who was there for me during my darkest moment and hour was God. Everybody else had left the ship. It's a metaphor I always use, like being on a Titanic ship and there's no more life boats or whatever, and the boat and the ship is going down, and the people who were supposed to have my back is on the ship over here, and they like, oh well, sorry. And then after some time go by, they come back to see the aftermath, and if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys right now. But I also had to do the work. I prayed and prayed and asked God to help me. But I can't ask God to help me and then sit on a couch and do nothing and wait for a miracle. I had to work in reference to what I was asking God for. I couldn't sit back and just wait. God can't help you if you don't help yourself. Like that saying, you can bring the horse or the people to the water, but you can't make them drink. They have to decide to do that for themselves. No one was there in the physical to lift me up, to encourage me when those tears came, when those trigger moments of grief came, the anxiety, the depression, all of it. I had to sit in it and feel that. Besides crying myself to sleep, being in pain, I stayed in prayer asking God to help me. And not only did I ask God to help me, as I started to do the work, I started to make vows to God, which I keep to this day. And the people that I had to not just set boundaries with, but cut off, block, and delete, they wanted some payback. Believe that, guys. These people were never there for me. They only wanted me around so that I can be subservient to them, so that they can, take advantage, use and abuse. And I wasn't realizing all of this before because my self-esteem was less than zero. And so as I start to build myself up and see what this is really about, and one of the things that helped me to see that is when I set boundaries and people were disregarding, dismissing it like it was nothing. I had to, at that point, decide to cut off, block, and delete so that I could stay focused on healing my mental and physical health, because they were not definitely going to help me do this, So the payback from those who I let go out of my life was no joke. In order to survive what they were doing, it was vicious and malicious. The horrific lies of things that I did that I would never do. Anybody know me know certain things I don't do. The lie after lie, the gossip, the just stalking. These people even went as far as to call the police to file false reports on me. And I stayed in prayer. This is when I learned how to fast, pray, and ask God for what I needed. Because these people wanted me back in that energy of being subservient to what they wanted. The hell with what I wanted. And I had to let go of that old version of myself. In order to survive any of this and move forward, I had to peel off that, old version of myself, the timid and subservient one. And it took a long time to do so, And when I would talk to my therapist about this, he would tell me to make a pro and con list. What are they bringing to your table? And what are you bringing? And when I weighed the pro and con list, I was being subservient. No one was bringing anything. So I had to cut off, block, and delete. And people were feeling some kind of way about that. And I had to put on a stronger armor and ignore it and continue to move forward, which was not easy, guys. It was difficult. I had to become a prayer warrior. And I had to choose myself, and know that I can't, turn back. I had to keep persevering and moving forward. I had to put myself first regardless of what was happening. The lies, the gossip, whatever was circulating. because the choice I had was to heal the pain or succumb to it. So I choose to heal it. I chose to heal it and to do the work, which was not easy. But guys, let me tell you something. What doesn't break you will make you stronger. When you start to look at, these things from a different perspective, you start to change that broken way of thinking and a broken way of living. Because like I said in prior videos, and all my life growing up, I was taught I was supposed to be a selfless person, always giving of my time and being subservient to other people's needs and want while putting my stuff on a back burner. And guys, that is a broken way of living. We are supposed to love ourselves. We are supposed to heal things that are broken within us. And we are to remove things from our life that no longer serve who we are. I learned a lot through prayer, setting boundaries. And I had to get to the point where I had to cut off, block, and delete when people were just dismissing me, and then I had to learn how to love myself. And as you love yourself, you start to self-care. You want to make sure your mental and physical health is up to date and you're okay. And then you start to learn your worth. Your self-esteem is no longer in the zero. You start to build that up and say to yourself, yes, I am worth it. I deserve love, respect, all the good things in life, just like the next person. And then after you start to look at things and feel better and do better and look at these things from a different perspective, you start to take your power back. And one of the ways, guys, I'm going to share with you how I took my power back from all this noise and stuff that people were doing. I decided to learn a lot more about forgiveness. The forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. So I learned that the forgiveness was for me so that I can move forward. Because if you stay stuck in a place of bitterness and pain from what somebody did to try to break you or hurt you or traumatize you, then that person keep the power over you. They leave you broken down, busted, and disgusted while they over here and they take your power with them. So if you learn to forgive, the forgiveness is for you so that you can move on. Then you learn to take back your power, to snatch that power back, leave them where they are, forgive them. Forgiveness doesn't mean to reconcile. It means to forgive so that you can move on, so you don't stay stuck in a pain and bitterness. And then you can go over here and live your life better to the fullest. Then you start to acquire inner peace. And when you get to the point of inner peace, you're unbothered about the lies people are telling, the gossip, the maliciousness that they're doing. Because I stay in prayer with God. And as I do that and move forward, God takes care of all those things on my behalf. And he will do so for you. Just keep moving forward. And in doors that close because of these folks, God is over here opening up new doors for you. And I'm living proof of that. He will open up better doors, put better people in your life who's going to build you up and who's going to motivate you and be there for you and not leave you on some, like I use as a metaphor, sinking ship while they go over here and sail off someplace. Look at the people that you have around you. And I was always stuck in this way of thinking that, just because we share DNA, I'm supposed to tolerate things. No, you're not. No, I'm not. And if someone doesn't respect who you are and they bring in toxicity and hell to your life, you can set boundaries. In my case, I had to cut off, block, and delete for my mental and physical health and for my peace of mind. Once you experience peace, your peace is not for sale. It's priceless. And you're not going to want to give it up for anyone or anything. Guys, it is better to be at a place of peace instead of broken down into pieces. And guys, that's the message today. I also want to take the time to talk to you guys. about what I have on this video. I have links there because they are tranquility bracelets for anxiety. Do things to self-care. You know, there's certain creative things you can do to help yourself. Like these bracelets may help calm your anxiety. Pets, I know, help as well. I know a lot of people who have pets, you know, and pets bring joy, not only joy, but peace and tranquility to people's life. And when you are busy with pets and you have things in your life that keeps you going, you know, it helps your mental and physical health. Like music, I always have music on, like jazz, because it helps me mentally, physically. The jigsaw puzzles help as well, because if you have to take the time and put together a, you know, jigsaw puzzle piece by piece, you're actually healing your mental health as well, because you're mentally being stimulated, you know, to put the pieces of the puzzle together. All these things help, and I'm just sharing it with you guys. It stimulates your mind. So go and look at those links, click on them, you know, check them out and see if there's anything there that you may be interested in that might help you. I'll be posting some more things in the future too. You know, guys, let's keep this going. Let's keep talking about these things, because it's an outlet for the pain as well. If we pretend it's not there, we just, you know, carry it with us, we can't heal. The pain can heal when we have an outlet for it. And on a daily basis, make sure you're doing something positive for yourself. Take an hour or two on a daily basis to do something that brings joy to you, that uplifts your spirit. Again, that's the message. This is Lisa shedding love and light. You guys enjoy your Wednesday evening, and I'll see you sometime tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and invite others to do the same so that they can receive these messages. And thank you guys for supporting this channel. I really appreciate you so much. Have a good evening, guys. Bye for now.